Alright guys, today I wanted to make a video reacting to the April Fool's update, but it was kind of boring, so I decided to do this. We are going to make an alphabet. Or not an alphabet, more like a language. I guess we're gonna make a new alphabet, but I'm not the first person to do this. I got inspiration from Oats Jenkins. I'm gonna be doing it a little different than him, but shout out to him for giving me the idea. So as you can see, I'm on MS Paint. So how did the alphabet start? Well, it started with Egyptian hieroglyphs. So we gotta make hieroglyphs for all the letters. So let's do, for A, we're gonna do apple. And then B, we're gonna do bow. C, we can skip. D, we'll do a dagger. And then an I, because I starts with E. And then a flame. And Z is a zebra. So I know that looks like giraffe, except they're facing the other way. So if it faces this way, it's a J, and if it faces this way, it's a Z. And then to make an alphabet, we've just simplified down all these shapes. And then, okay, so all of the simplified stuff is done, so we can erase all of this. Alright. So now that we've got our hieroglyphs, we gotta add a few letters, because currently, we do not have a sound for th, sh, ch, j, which is a sound I made up on my own, and So this is a, e, o, u. Actually, no. A, I. This is an I. So we need a sound for e, a sound for and then a sound for the weird H blends thing. So let's just make this. With this, let's imagine all these are segments that can be turned on and off. 2 to the power of 4 equals 16. So we have 16 different combinations. Here's a list of all of them. But currently we only have... We can just get rid of this one because it's nothing. This could be mistook for an underscore, so we can remove that. Same with this one with I. These ones are just rotated versions of the ones I just mentioned, so we can delete them too. This one looks like an L in Latin. This one looks like the N, so we're gonna remove that. This one looks like a V, so we're gonna get rid of that as well. And this one looks like an H, so from those 16, we now have 7. This looks like this looks like the number 11, or 2 I's beside each other. And this looks like an equal sign, so we get rid of those 2. This looks like a Latin C, and this looks like a Latin U. This looks like the O, and this is like a Latin N, which means that we just have 1 letter left. Which means we're going to make the symbol for TH. But we still need more of these. Let's try adding some more lines here. Because we now have 6 segments here, there is 2 to the power of 6. Or, you guessed it, 64! This is the list of all of them. Anyways, we already know that these 16 have already been used up because they don't change anything. So we can get rid of them. That looks like a minus sign. That looks like the number 1. That looks like an equal sign. This is a sideways F. You know what? I'm gonna ban rotations of things. They just feel unnatural. That's the letter I. You can keep that one though, that looks cool. All the rest of these will just make it too complicated and hard to read. So now, let's get rid of those ones. Now we have a reasonable amount of options that we can add to the alphabet. So after the this letter for the sh sound, when you're like with the plus inside, can be the ch sound. And then we can use this letter for the j sound, which is one I actually made up. We also need a sound for just the basic vowel sound, which we can use this little I looking thing for. Kind of looks like the j, except it's fully connected. Which means finally, we've got this little weird upside down F. And I want to use this for ordinals. I don't want it to be a letter, I want it to be a symbol. So, if you don't know what an ordinal is, it's pretty basic. Whenever you say, I got 4th place in a race, you say the number 4, and then you say the ordinal, which is 4th, like that th sound at the end. But here's the catcher. If you say 3, you say I got 3rd place in a race, which means instead of TH, it's RD. And then if you're 2nd, you say ND for the ordinal, and if you're 1st place, you do ST. So let's just remove all that and make it so that this weird little upside down F represents the ordinal. So this would be 2nd. And then this would be 5th. And then this would be 64th. So basically, that's ordinal. It doesn't show up in any words. It's not a letter. So we can just like put it off to the side. Ordinal. So one more thing I have to mention about my alphabet is that you have to be incredibly specific when pronouncing the letters. The words work exactly the same as English. Do you want to say, my favorite number is 108? You say that, you pronounce it the same. It's all about how you write it down. So, I don't even know, but in English you would write asthma. I think this is how you spell asthma. In our language, and in this language, you say the a, which is this, a, and then the as, z. You got a z sound, so you're gonna put the z, as, which is this, and then which is just the basic vowel sound, so we're gonna put this. Asthma. No weird spellings like thorough or like minute. Just spell it the way it sounds. Simple as that. That's why English is so bad, because apparently this is supposed to say dough when it should say daug. So, yeah. Better alphabet. I expect this to be... everyone to be using this. I found like fonts for this. This is peak alphabet gold right here. So, yeah. Like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next video.